most intelligent and most exciting person I've known in my life. She's done so many things and been involved in so many things that have changed the atmosphere that we live in the world that we live in. Her story is one of triumph. And my mom worked hard to get where she was. My mom worked hard to make sure I was raised right and that I had the correct discipline in order to become a good man. And she constantly checks me on that too, just to make sure. So that's the type of woman my mom is. Very independent, very beautiful. In her younger days, she could have easily have been a model, except there were no black models in her youth. She is 76 years old, almost 77. That to me is exciting because at 76, she's experienced a lot of things in this world. She's experienced a lot of different stories. And what we're going to do is we're going to record some of those stories and hopefully make a small documentary of her life and the way that she lived it and the things that she's done. You'll hear a lot about my family. The older ones, that group is shrinking, and my group is slowly becoming the older ones. Hopefully we'll have a family reunion here in the next year, and we can get all the old ones together, you know, let all the young ones meet some of the old ones that they've never met yet. That should be exciting, that should be fun. I'm excited because there are some young people in the family that I don't really know. I've seen them several times, but I couldn't tell you their names and their ages, and I could tell you some of the things that some of them do, but the majority of it I don't know. And that is why I think it's very important for families to get their history on tape, for my mother to be able to tell us about her life, because once she's gone, you know, the storyteller is gone. And once that storyteller is gone, you know, the stories are gone. And my mother is definitely the storyteller of the family. Throughout the video, we'll be putting in some pictures, original pictures of the family and people in our family and my mom throughout her years of growing up. And we have been blessed with being the keepers of the photos. So we have hundreds and hundreds of photos of family members and family events that a lot of people don't even know happened or existed. So you're going to see some of those in the video. You're going to see some of the exciting part of my family, which is definitely the crew up under me. They're doing some amazing things and accomplishing some amazing goals, and that's awesome. That's amazing. My mother is the oldest and eldest person in our family, so she knows a lot of these stories. She knows a lot of my older relatives that I don't know. I've seen pictures of them, but I don't know who they are. We'll get some clarification on that with some of the videos and some of the pictures. Hopefully I can put this together and it'll be nice and something that everybody can enjoy, hopefully. If not, it'll be something that my family will be able to enjoy for forever. I am going to put it on YouTube. I'm going to start a YouTube channel just for it. So expect to see some exciting things and to hear some really, really neat stories about black families and how they grew up in the early 30s and 40s, and the things that my family overcame that a lot of families didn't. Usually when you hear something about an ethnic or a black family, they're always saying that, you know, it was downtrodden and things were so hard and we were poor and we lived in a shack. My family wasn't like that. The majority of the city that my family grew up in is named after members in my family because of some of the things that they did. My ancestors were warriors. They were, you know, I'm like the only male in the family who hasn't gone into the service besides my grandfather Fred. But everybody else has gone through there and left their mark there also, especially my dad. My dad was in the service, was in the Army all my life. He passed right before my son was born. He was 15 now, so he'll be 15 in the next couple of days. So this is also for him. So he has something to remember our family by, and he has something to pass on to his kids, and hopefully his kids' kids. You know, maybe, you know, if we get lucky, maybe we'll make a little change out of this, you know what I'm saying? Make a little change, baby. Make a little of that change, baby. Because everybody needs some change, especially us. But you're going to hear some really cool stuff. Now this is going to be cut up and edited and, you know, chopped up. There are pieces that aren't going to be in here. There are pieces that are going to be in here. So you'll see some of this. Hopefully you won't hear the road bouncing up and down and everything I say. We're almost to the hospital. She has to stand there for 3 days. But me personally, I don't think she's going to be in there for 3 days. The last 2 times that she's had surgery, they've put her in a elderly facility, and she did not like that at all, because to her, she's not elderly. You know, she's very coherent. She can talk to you about very intelligent things. She can tell you stories that are just amazing and not forget anything in the story. Not forget anything in the story. You know, from the way that my relatives were dressed on a daily basis to their accomplishments and some of the things they did, especially in education. Southern University, my family was a big part of that dynasty. Poplar's Quarters is where my mother grew up. It's named after one of my family members also. So hopefully we'll get to go down there to Bogalusa, Louisiana. But Bogalusa is the town that my mom grew up in, and my family pretty much grew up in. And it's pretty exciting to hear some of the stories from there. Even though it was a little bitty town, it was very awesome. Very, very awesome. I've gone down to visit. My daughter's gone to visit with me. My son visited, but he was very, very young then, so I know he doesn't remember any of it. But we'll talk about that a little bit later.